Hi guys, welcome back to another video in my Chop to the Top series where I'm trading my way up from a cheap car to a supercar. Let's recap on what's happened so far in the series. I started with a £150 Toyota RAV4 and over the course of 3 trades built up a kitty of £3,148. With that, in the last episode you saw me buy and turn around this, a 2009 Honda Civic Type R. The Type R ended up owing me £3,258, that's £110 over budget, so I knew I had to sell it well, but unfortunately COVID-19 had other ideas, and it seemed best to hold off on advertising until restrictions eased. Well, I'm pleased to say that now things have got a little easier, I've been able to advertise the Civic and it is now sold. In fact, the Civic sold for £5,000, showing a clear profit of £1,742. It's important to remember though that I had £110 overspend on the Civic, so my budget moving forward to buy and restore car number 5 in the series is £4,890. So, now we're up to speed, let's get into it. So here is what I've bought. A 2006 Nissan 350Z. Overall, it's in average condition, with several areas needing attention, but we'll get back to that. What attracted me to this car is that this isn't an ordinary 350. Yes, you've guessed it, this 350Z has had a turbo conversion. In addition to the turbo, it also has a full set of Tyne coilovers, complete with electronic dampening control, although this system isn't working right now, so it'll be one of the first areas I look at. I bought this car from another trader who didn't know too much about it or what had been done, so that means another job for me will be to look around and see what else has been added. So I did say that this 350 was in average condition, and the bodywork is showing its age. Each of the bumper corners has paint damage, everything from flaking through to deep gouges. As with most of my repairs, I'll be tackling these using just shop-bought aerosol paint. Before I get involved with bodywork though, I want to see what other secrets this car has, so it's into the workshop and onto the ramp. As I mentioned before, the electronic dampening system isn't currently working on this 350, so part of what I'll be doing here is looking for any obvious damage to that system. Aside from that, I just want to get a better idea of any other mods that have been done, as well as giving the arches a clean up and checking the brakes. So on first inspection, the rear suspension looks great, if not a little grubby, but it looks to be complete and without any obvious damage. The same goes for the front suspension. The first discovery, aside from the Tyne coilovers, I've noticed we've got these HKS braided brake lines, which is a huge bonus.
So the plan right now is to clean these coilovers up as best as I can in situation and just make sure that they are all adjusted sympathetically, and then have a bit of a clean of the arch, check the brakes over, and that'll do.
The next discovery is this K&N air filter, which is located in the wheel arch behind the liner. Although it's in a gauze bag, this will certainly benefit from a clean out. With the air filter removed, I block the intake with a rubber glove and can start cleaning the arches.
Okay, and there's what we're looking for. Not sure how well you can see that, but just underneath the engine at the back there, that is where our turbo is located. Unreal.
The other thing that attracted me to this 350Z is the fact that it's a convertible, which makes it a bit of a sleeper in my opinion. I mean, who would choose to turbo a drop top over a coupe? Aside from that, this is a manual UK GT spec car, so it benefits from a high spec including these awesome gold Brembo calipers. So it's mad to think that we start with a £150 budget and that knackered old Toyota RAV4, and in just 5 deals we worked our way up to this 350Z turbo. Now, I am on my way to getting a supercar, but if it was just the performance side of the supercar I was after, I could stop right here. This thing is unbelievably fast. But I said I'd trade my way up from a cheap car to a supercar, so that's what I'll do, and this one has to be moved on. As you know, I only have a modest budget to buy and turn this one around, and you're probably wondering how I managed to even find a 350Z turbo within budget, let alone one that leaves enough in the kitty for repairs. Well, as I said, the dealer I bought this one from really didn't have any idea what he had, other than a 14-year-old 350Z with bodywork issues and a non-functioning electrical suspension system. Sometimes in this business you just get lucky. It's all about keeping your eye on the market and what's available. I'll reveal exactly what I paid for this 350Z turbo, along with how much it has cost me to fix up once I've finished all the work needed to sell it on. So, with the arches now all cleaned up and the coilover adjustment found to be fine, it's time to figure out just why that tiny EDFC system isn't working. Okay, the first problem to sort out, this car has this tiny EDFC adjustable damping box fitted, but it doesn't work at the moment. So first things first, take a look at that. Okay, right, problem. Pretty obvious, I think. The main power supply is in the middle here, and if you have a look, it looks like one of those wires has been pulled out. Now it looks like someone's been in there before based on this heat shrink, so what I think I'll do is take that off, redo these connections and reshrink that. Okay, as the black wire seems to be struggling to stay connected, I think it would pay to tin it up before putting it back in its connector. Okay, so the good news is that we now have power to the controller, but the bad news is that it's showing an error for both the front right and the front left sensor. So, time to investigate that next. Okay, right, having had a look around, I'm under the passenger side dash and I found this bunch of wiring. Now it looks like I've got an error message for both sides on the front. I can see here there's a front right wire which is completely disconnected. So, if I put that back in like that, it goes in there, so I've just had to dig around and find that, but I'll put that back together. So 2 connections, just like that, 2 connections. Let's see if that's made a difference. Okay, that's something. Having just plugged that front right sensor wire back in, the controller is now only saying that it has a problem with the front left, so I need to look further down the line and try and find out what could be causing that. Okay, so I think I've got the problem here. You can just about see down in here the sensor on top of the shock there. Now, although the wire to it is a little bit gnarly looking and twisted,
it seems to all be intact. However, if we follow it through into the battery compartment, I can see that again it's been completely disconnected. So I think what I need to do is strip some of this area back, find the other end of that cable, reconnect them, and see if that solves our problem. Okay, so I found the other end of that cable, which is way down in here. So I think what I'm going to do is take this opportunity to untangle this mess, because I'm sure that's not helping the performance of the system, having it all tangled up like that.
Right, so with that front left sensor reconnected and now untangled and rerouted, it shouldn't be tempted to pull apart again. Time to retest the controller and see if it's now error-free. Okay, that's perfect. No error messages displayed. All I need to now is reprogram the 3 presets in the controller's memory: soft, medium and hard.
If I go to program 1, it should automatically put 16 front, 16 rear. Program 2 medium, 8 front, 8 rear, and program 3 hard is 0 and 0. Perfect. All working exactly as it should. Just with a few disconnected wires and a little bit of soldering. Perfect.
Guys, that's it for this episode, but make sure you subscribe so you'll be notified as soon as the next one arrives. It's gonna get exciting.